Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello and welcome to Footy Judge More people. Apologies for being late, just family issues, of course, family stuff, family commitments. Apologies everyone that waited, and big up everybody that is here with us. A little bit, listen, I was gonna go out for dinner, and then I said, listen, there are a couple of news that I wanted to talk about. I had a couple of debates earlier today, and I wanted to discuss it with you, between me and you, to be honest. Calm, composed, a little bit of a calm show with me and you guys in the chat. We'll see how it goes. Pochettino, though, is absolutely hinting that he can quit Chelsea. Um, the reason why people are saying, why you're exaggerating, I'm actually not. When the guy is saying, why do you wanna, like, he's saying, why do you guys always ask if the board is gonna sack me? Why you never ask if we are happy here? Is he hinting? And also, there is a report coming from Spain saying that he actually is hinting about going back to Spain to coach in La Liga. The club might be Atletico Madrid because Simeone, there is something happening, and it might be someone else. But for him, to be honest, to say that I might not be happy at Chelsea, and him snapping the other day, saying about, if they want to sack me, they can sack me. And today he said, if they sack me, it's not the end of the world. It is kind of contradicting news coming out from the Chelsea camp. Of course, along with Todd Bowley saying that the environment have changed later. So, before we go on, and also I wanted to speak about Martinelli being involved and included in the Copa America. And I think the biggest news is, why is Gabriel Jesus is not included in the Brazil national team for Copa America? Yes, he has been injured, but still Gabriel Jesus, every time he played for Arsenal, he actually showed very, very good signs. It is, I didn't, when I read the news, Comdine, thank you for the super chat for supporting. He's getting surgery this summer. He wasn't excluded. Is it unavailable? Maybe I read it wrong, Comdine. But I actually wanted to tell you something, Comdine. I actually read it the other way, Comdine. I think he's getting the surgery because he knew he might not be playing. I actually think players, a lot of these Brazilian players and Egyptian players and Nigerian players and even English players, the pinnacle of their career is for them to play for the Brazil national team. Neymar always said that. Neymar always said that the joy always comes from when I play with the Samba, when I play for the Brazilian. Because Gabriel Jesus might need the surgery, might not. He might have it after Copa America. But I don't know. Like, listen, I am not in the room. I am not in the room, and I don't know what is happening behind the scenes. All I know is that if Gabriel Jesus can play for the Brazilian national team, he would have played if he was to be included. But that's not my main topic, Comdine. My main topic is not him being included or not. That's not my decision. My main topic is that I've seen a lot of Arsenal fans saying we should let go of Gabriel Jesus. And I've seen a lot of other. So, Comdine, I wanted to discuss that with people. Do Arsenal fans really want to get away from Gabriel Jesus? Forget he's playing for the Brazilian national team or not. I'm not Brazilian. A lot of people are not Brazilian here. I doubt that we have about the Brazilian national team. My point about Gabriel Jesus, Comdine, right, is, should Arsenal stick with him or not? And we're going to talk about this. And also, I wanted to speak with you guys. This is a show between me and you guys, heart to heart, because a lot of people have accused me lately of having an agendas and all this stuff. I have had a really interesting debate on Dan Potts' channel earlier with Dan, the Man United fan, him saying that he would rather keep Ten Hag another year because there is no better option, which is a very strange approach for your club. I actually think it's a very strange approach. But listen, I want to start. Let me do a Comdean super chat first. All your super chats are going to get read. I'm going to try to read the comments, of course. This is a show between me and you. If there is a specific topic you want me to talk about and you want to support the channel, please get involved. Please let me know what you want to talk. If you have an unpopular opinion, if a lot of you are still upset about what I said about City, and tons of people actually said that I have an agenda against Man City, whatever you want to say. You know that I don't. Man City content creators know that I don't. But I wanted to actually discuss things with you guys. Stephen is saying no news had come out around Jesus that he was willing to give up on the Copa America to make sure that he can be fully fit next year. It has been planned since January. Maybe you're right, Comdean. I don't know. I'm going to read more about it to be educated. And I'm ready to be proved wrong 100%. But the point is, should Arsenal stick with Gabriel Jesus? And I'm going to read the super chats later. Stick with me, because this is a very... Listen, this Gabriel Jesus thing is a tricky situation for Arsenal. Should they sell the guy and get somebody else, or should they not? I actually don't know. I actually believe that Gabriel Jesus is a good player. Is he your 20, 30 goal striker? Might not be the guy for you. But is he someone that can be serviceable? Can someone that you can use 100%? Comdean Tevin, I would love if he could stay healthy, as he can help us. Maybe we should start with that, because you guys are involved, Comdean and Tevin. Maybe you guys are involved with me here, and I want to discuss what you guys want to talk about before touching on Chelsea and Pochettino, because the big news is that the guy is restless. This guy Pochettino, I know he was smiling a little bit, but he was restless in the thing. And thing is, it's very strange. I was watching the press conference, by the way. He's restless, which is very strange. I would love to see if he could stay healthy, as he can help us everywhere in the front line. Absolutely 100% true. 100% true, Tevin. But I'm getting tired of all the injuries-riddled players. That is what Arsenal need to look for. They need to look for players who are available. Availability is the best ability, Tevin. But Gabriel Jesus is absolutely a good player. He is someone, when he's healthy, he can provide a lot. He can help the front line, right wing, left wing, can play as a false nine. I actually think that they shouldn't sell him, because I doubt they will get enough money for him to replace someone who is serviceable like him, if that makes sense, Tevin. If that makes sense to you, I doubt. I genuinely doubt that. I would keep him if he fixes his injuries. That's not on him. That's on the medical staff, if they can actually get him the right treatment, get him fit. You know, medical staff know if a player will be fit or not. It's very simple, because I believe this guy is good. Gabriel Jesus is a good football player. He just needs to stay healthy. It's on the medical staff. It is on the medical staff, to be honest. I would keep him, but if he goes to the Copa America and plans no having another year full of injuries, then no, get rid of him. It depends if that surgery will fix his career. It depends, because I've had this argument with Rory earlier. Where do we think Arsenal actually, if Gabriel Jesus stays fit, do we really think that Arsenal need a right winger to cover for Saka? No. You have Trossard, Martinelli on the left. You have Gabriel Jesus on the right. You'll need a striker to play with Havertz, cover for Havertz, or start over Havertz, or whatever you want to make it. You know what I mean? Over 100 people here, and I have to ask you guys that stop what you're doing now and hit that like button. But Comdean, he's a very good player, and I don't see the hate. And I'm going to tell you one thing, Comdean. The agenda on Gabriel Jesus stinks, because they want to say he's not the one to get you 20 goals, 30 goals, but he's a very serviceable player. Wallahi, 100%. I believe Gabriel Jesus provides something that not a lot of players in the Premier League now can provide. The guy can play right wing, left wing, can play false nine. Get him to goal-scoring wingers, and he will cook. He will cook. He will absolutely be good. It's simple. He's not a bad player. He's just not a striker. He's not a striker. It's very simple. It's very simple. Why are we assuming that this guy is a striker? He isn't. He is someone who can play false nine, like a Firmino, can play right wing, left wing. Not many players. And I actually believe one thing before I read this, Stephen. I'm going to, guys, tell you something. You know, if you keep Jesus, here is something, and you get a striker, in games when it's stuck, take one midfielder out and play only Odegaard and Rice, and play Gabriel Jesus and Havertz as two forwards, two strikers. That is an option. Or imagine if you get a Ivan Toney or Giorix or whatever this guy's name from Sporting Lisbon. Put Gabriel Jesus behind the guy. Play two striker formation. That's what you should do. Just do that. But without him, you struggle. It's what's his name? Gyökeres. I'm very good in pronouncing names, but for some reason, this guy's name is always away from my tongue. Gyökeres. Not many players in the world are smart and adaptable as he is. But again, he will give us an amazing month and he leaves for another 3. That is Gyökeres. Yes. Leaves for another 3. That's very fair to say, Tevin. But again, that's on the medical staff. It's absolutely on the medical staff. It's not on Jesus. It's not on Arteta to decide. Arteta is not the. By the way, I'm gonna tell you one thing. So one time, I played a lot of football on a bad pitch. I went from a first division here to the second division, and to help our second team when we were in the club here, because I didn't play the first team that season. And that pitch, that the field that they played on was shit, was bad. At the end of the season, in the beginning of the season after, that was like 7 years ago or 8 years ago. I was 30, 31. And I actually felt tons of pain in my knee. Every time I'm stepping on my left knee, and I felt pain. And I went to the doctor, and the only one that can tell you what is happening, I went. You know what the doctor said? They did the MRIs, they did everything. He said, you hurt your meniscus over the last year, big time. You have to take injection, a cortisone steroid injection, but your meniscus is not coming back to the same shape again. You're older, you hurt your meniscus, and it will give you a steroid shot that will last with you for 6 months. That, I doubt that Arteta knows this information. That's a doctor that went to medical school. So it's on the doctors to tell Arsenal, should you keep that guy or not? Does that make sense? And if the medical staff last season told Arsenal, keep this guy, they know there is hope that I can play a whole season. You know what I mean? It's very simple. You know, when you do the MRI, they do the CT, right? The CT, they do the X-rays. They know exactly, right, what is happening with the muscle, how much tear. Is this muscle? I ruptured a muscle in my calf. And I went to the doctor, and he said, this muscle, it's called the soleus, is not coming back. You need to build the muscles around it. And he said, your leg will not go back to normal. You'll always have this pinch in your calf. And it's happening, right? And I need to take painkillers to play, and I needed to slow down a little bit. I'm being serious, right? So that is the case. I swear to God, it's on the medical staff, Arsenal fans. Should we stick to Gabriel Jesus or not? And again, we are over 150 people, and we aren't even on 100 like. Do you want me to explain what the like button does to the video? Basically, the like button helps the channel go to the next viewer. Do you know why we don't have 200 and 300 people? Because you aren't liking the video. I'm trying to have a conversation with you. Like the damn video. So it goes, I like the video. I asked my wife to like the video. I asked my friends to like the video. So why don't you like the video? Come on. Do me a favor and get me to 100 likes or 150 likes now. It will push the video to the next guy. I promise you this. I promise you. We're having a conversation, me and you. Kevin here is saying, not many players in the world are smart and adaptable as he is. But again, he will give us an amazing month. We did that one. Yes, it's an medical staff. Comdean is saying medical staff and Arsenal could have given Jesus an ultimatum about having the surgery and missing the Copa, or else they would sell him. Wallahi, you are an absolutely very smart Comdean. Very, very smart Comdean about this. It might be. It's either you go to the Copa or you do the surgery so you can have a good season, so we can have something back from our investment on you. It's very simple. Yes, you're absolutely right, Comdean. That's a very smart super chat. Absolutely a win super chat, Comdean. Wallah, you're very good in this conversation, Comdean. You're absolutely good. But before I move on from Arsenal and the Gabriel Jesus and thing, I wanted to touch on this late talk about the Declan Rice hate. Yes, Comdean is speaking facts, to be honest. Comdean, a win, to be honest. I'm running with this agenda, Comdean. From now on, see, that's how you use a super chat, Comdean. I am running with this, Comdean. Anybody now, I'm going to say it's all about that now. So very good enlightenment, very good opinion. I appreciate you. It's very, very clear. It's not only about Ahmed. A lot of people lately have been saying that Declan Rice this, Declan Rice that. I'm going to state it here. I am fully convinced that without Declan Rice, Arsenal would not have been in this place. In this place. Without Declan Rice, Arsenal have not been today, having Man City, right, watching behind their back. If they drop, Arsenal would snatch the league. The reason why Thomas Partey was injured, Kai Havertz played in the midfield, right? Kai Havertz played in the midfield, right? And Odegaard, I'm going to give you Arsenal fans this until October, which is about 2 months. He wasn't amazing. Declan Rice, and I'm a man enough, right? It's not going to make a less of a man of me that I have to sit here and tell you guys, between me and you, that Declan Rice proved me wrong. Proved me wrong. Absolutely. Declan Rice proved me wrong. I didn't know that Declan Rice can so quickly. There is not, that's, and me praising Declan Rice doesn't mean I'm slagging Rodri or slagging other players. Rodri, if you ask me tomorrow who you are taking at Inter, okay, we're broken, we don't have any money to buy both of them. If you ask me tomorrow who are you taking to your team, I'm gonna tell you Rodri. Come on, like, this is easy and very simple. I'm taking Rodri in my team. I'm gonna sit here and say that Declan Rice proved me wrong. The reason why he proved me wrong, I did not know that he has this in his locker. I did not know that he can improve to the point. And number one, he improved massively in set pieces, which is like you guys have no idea how tough it is. How tough it is. Okay, this is super chat. I love this. This is how you super chat. This is how you actually get involved in the conversation, Paulo. I love it. What is this? R dollars. I'm always intrigued. What is R dollars? R dollars is, oh, he's Brazilian. We got a Brazilian, Paulo. Paulo Cesar Dennis Jr. Wow. We got a Brazilian here. Does this argument work for both Rodri and Foden? Can you elaborate a little bit? What does that mean? Does this argument? Oh, yeah. I actually said that. Do you know, Paulo, why I fought hard, HUSAM. 5 Reyes, Brazil. 5 Reyes. Brazil. Amazing. Amazing, Paulo. Do you know why? And people in the chat, you vouch for me. Do you guys know why I fought so hard the Foden agenda that is having now from the people that... Okay, HUSAM says that Foden, he's convinced that Foden hasn't, and I don't want to digress to Manchester City, but Foden hasn't stepped up. You know, this notion. I actually believe with Kevin De Bruyne being injured and Julian Alvarez having a dip, Bernardo stopped scoring, right? Do you know the 2 players that carried Man City this season, in my opinion, is Phil Foden and Rodri. So yeah, the argument goes for Rodri. However, I'm going to tell you this. Rodri, the problem with me with Rodri this season is that he was left isolated. And I don't know how many times I need to repeat this. How many times do I need to repeat this, people? Right? Rodri, many times I would discuss with Man City fans, and we would sit after the games and the match reactions, and they would tell me Rodri was left isolated today. Mr. Mad Hatter always comments after the videos and tell me, why are we leaking chances? And he will break it down, and it's because Rodri is left isolated. However, it's not Rodri's fault. It's not Rodri's fault, right? It is not Foden's fault that he being shoved in the right side. I will never put it on Foden. However, it's that particular subject about Foden playing on the right side, I put it on, is he the best player behind the forward? If Pep Guardiola doesn't see him as the best player behind the forward, maybe that's a debate. But my point is, I am not going back on Rodri being isolated. And I have seen that midfield being bypassed. Being bypassed a little bit. I am not going to go back on the fact that I have seen this midfield from Man City being bypassed sometimes. And you want me to sit here and tell you that Man City this season, I'm watching with my eyes. I watch with my eyes. Manchester City concede chances. I want to say that I actually think, right, that people that only want to tell me that Man City are top of the league, yeah, watch the game with your eyes. How many times Man City fans after the game said, why don't you have someone next to Rodri? Why is Rodri being isolated? Why? How many City fans, from Martin to Patrick to Vator, right? Each one say that. But Mo has an agenda against Manchester City. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, if people think I have an agenda against Man City, how did I call your team the best team I watched in my life last season? Yeah, I am tired of this. I'm trying to speak. If you disagree with me, yeah, disagree with me. But don't come with this, oh, you have an agenda. Yeah, I don't. I called Man City team last season the best team I watched, better than Barcelona last season, because they were very effective. They were very solid defensively, with Stones and Rodri being the DMs with the 3 behind them, and they were lethal going forward and very direct. Reach the goal from the shortest path. But this season is different. Anyway, John and Ghost, what a name. What a legend. What a name. John and Ghost, what a legend. What a name. Fergie done a pay-to-play contract on Michael Owen. Fergie done a yeah, I remember that. Pay-to-play contract on Michael Owen. I remember that when he got injured. I 100% remember this. Pay-to-play. Get paid by the game. Oh, yeah, John, that was hilarious, actually, when that happened. I remember that. It was hilarious. Thank you so much. You don't give the same energy. Okay, so I love a challenge, Comdin. You don't give the same energy to Odegaard when he was playing as a second striker for the first 10 games of the season. Odegaard was played in a different rule too. Okay, hear me out. Actually, I disagree with that. Comdin. In the first 10 games, actually Odegaard was dropping deep. And stats show that eye test. Do you know why he was dropping deep? Because Kai Havertz replaced Granit Xhaka on the left, Comdin. Again, let me repeat that again, Comdin. In the first 10 games, Odegaard was dropping so deep, helping Kai Havertz, helping Declan Rice, moving the ball from the defense to the offensive side. Because Kai Havertz was basically playing as a left midfielder, as a second forward. Are we joking? Comdin, I literally looked at the heat map of the first game. Okay, I'm gonna do it. We'll do it together. How about we do that together? Ya Allah. How about we do that together? You're gonna digress, and I'm gonna do that. We're gonna do this together. Okay? Can I do this, Comdin, after I do the super chat with Paulo? Big up Paulo for the support of the channel and the super chat. Big up Paulo. I'm gonna check in Comdin. I promise you. I'm actually now gonna do I'm gonna show it on the screen. Actually, I'm gonna show it on the screen. Right? Rodri is as good as Rice. Rodri is better than Declan Rice. On the defensive side, Rice is better. Okay, let me read the super chat. Rodri is as good as Declan Rice on the defensive side. I disagree with this notion. Declan Rice is better. He's faster, right? He's faster. He's a better tackler for me, Declan Rice. I disagree with that, Paulo. So we disagree. It's fair points. But even when he was isolated, he still created crazy amount of chances. And that's why I said Rodri has showed us something that I have not seen in the history of DMs, which is having a very good defensive abilities, right? Hear me out. I'm going to repeat this again. Rodri has very good defensive attributes and passing and connecting the passing from the back. What I mean connecting the passing is getting the ball from the defensive side, turning and playing it to an attacking midfielder or giving it to a winger. You know what I mean? Building the attack, connecting the defensive side to the offensive side. That is Rodri. And also he added to his weapon chances created and being clutch moment, shooting and scoring goals. That's why when I say Rodri as a DM went to an uncharted territories, which is he's not a Pirlo, which means Pirlo is very good in doing how do I say it? What I mean, directing. He was the regista, a director. You know what I mean? Deep line, a playmaker. He was actually the one who's getting everyone involved, even the fullbacks. But he wasn't great defensively. But Rodri has both. Okay. He still created crazy amount of chances. When Rice was isolated, he held the midfield together defensively, but he couldn't create because he wasn't asked to create. But when he went forward the second half of the season, Declan Rice is 1 goal, 1 GA behind Rodri. And Declan Rice added something else to his weapons, which is playing set pieces. I am not comparing Rodri to Declan Rice. I'm saying based on this season, in my opinion, Declan Rice has been very, very consistent. He played every single game, didn't have a decent play. And by the way, I'm going to tell you one thing, guys, that you guys have to understand. This next point, the people that played football are going to understand this next point. We're digressing a lot by your super chats. Guys, we are but this is what a solo show is. It's you driving my conversation, and I love it, to be honest. I love it. I'm thinking to put it in the right words. Declan Rice has not committed many fouls while being isolated, has not had disciplinary issue while being isolated. You know what my coach used to tell me? Back in the days, As a DM, if you go out without committing fouls and without getting a yellow card, sometimes you didn't do your job. Now, Declan Rice played in front of Gabriel and Saliba, stopping attacks in transition without actually having a disciplinary issue. Isn't that a plus for him? Isn't that a plus? Isn't that a plus for a player that plays a DM? Right? Isn't that a plus? John is saying, salute, Mo. Rice and Rodri, great. That's what Almost saying. Both are good. I'll just think that this season, I'll pick Declan Rice. Declan Rice. Paulo, I'm going to have a call-in show soon, and you can absolutely debate me. It means a lot, actually. It means not having it. Okay, what are we saying about Rodri getting a red card for a disciplinary issue? Isn't that something against him? It is definitely. It's definitely. Now, I want to go to the last point before I go to Chelsea, because I promised people to talk about Chelsea today. This one. Sofa score. Maybe I will be proven wrong. I've watched the football with my eyes, and I was watching Odegaard dropping deep. Let's see. Arsenal. We're doing it now. Fixtures. Arsenal fixtures. There you go. Here we go. We're gonna start with. I'm doing it now. Just bear with me. Bear with. I went all the way. Anyway, this is enough. I'm gonna show. I think this is the first game. Here we go. This is the heat map of Declan Rice versus Kai Havertz Comdine. This is the heat map. This is the first game. What game is this? Let's just see. This is the first game. This is the Nottingham Forest game. Martin Odegaard and Kai Havertz. Both of them didn't drop deep. But you see this? You see where my cursor is? I don't think you see my cursor. You see Declan Rice. That is what I'm talking about, Comdines. Okay. So number one, the first game, do you see Kai Havertz was not behind the midfield as much as Odegaard? One game. Crystal Palace. Martin Odegaard. Again, both aspects of the game. Kai Havertz, only high on the pitch. Do you see my point, Comdine? He's only... Kai Havertz was playing as a left forward. While Martin Odegaard, of course, you have the football. He's both. You see how deep Martin Odegaard used to drop? Third game, Comdine. And I'm not trying to prove you right or wrong. I'm literally just seeing what I watch with my eye. In this game, Martin Odegaard here and Kai Havertz. High on the pitch. Both are the same. I'm going through the games. I promise you. Kai Havertz. He didn't need to drop deep. So this is Kai Havertz. This is when Kai Havertz started dropping deep. This is one game. He dropped deep a little bit. So yes, you are right, Comdine. Everton game. Martin Odegaard. Kai Havertz didn't play here. Fabio Vieira is on the left side. So he didn't play at all. This is kind of a strange game. Kai Havertz. High on the pitch. Martin Odegaard. Here is Martin Odegaard, both aspects of the game. Have we had enough? Have you had enough? Games up until Newcastle, excluding Bournemouth. Have you had enough? No, absolutely not, Comdine. How are you saying this? Do you say Odegaard was higher in the first game? Really? In the Nottingham Forest game? We'll do it again. We'll do it again, Comdine. Kai Havertz Watch all these touches by he's definitely playing as a forward. Am I bugging? People, am I bugging? And Martin Odegaard, look at this. He's definitely on the left. Kai Havertz was definitely higher on the pitch. Am I bugging here? Are we serious? Okay, but look at his score when he drops deep. He only had a bad game when he was put in on a higher role. So I want to get your point. My point about Martin Odegaard in the beginning of the game, I'm bugging. Kai Havertz played as a left midfielder deeper than Martin Odegaard. Wallahi, you guys are chatting shit. Anyway. Yes, because this is, do you know why? Okay, very simple, Comdeen. I can answer this very simple and we can move on from this point, right? Look at Odegaard, big red spot. Do you know why Odegaard has a red spot there? And you know why Kai Havertz is everywhere? Because remember, in this particular game, and I'm going to go back. In this particular game, Arsenal had 78% ball position. Guys, yes, I see, but hear me out. You guys, I think you guys are bugging here, right? You guys are definitely bugging. Do you know why there's a red spot here? Because the whole game was played on the right side of this game while you had 80% ball position. Are we crazy? While Kai Havertz, and watch the number of touches, 83 touches versus 69 touches. He definitely touched the ball more. I haven't renewed my Arsenal season ticket yet, King Hodel. Anyway, long story short, if we guys... What is that? What? I don't know what you're saying. Comdeen. Okay, Comdeen. This is an absolute amazing discussion. Comdeen, Odegaard has been bad. Okay, let's establish what do I mean by bad, Odegaard. Odegaard has been bad games when he was put into a wrong rule, just like how Foden plays bad in the right wing rule. It's the same. Okay, hear me out. But I said that Foden, when he played on the right side, didn't play well. But in the other games, he stepped up. And by the way, I judged Rodri because his coach isolated him. So I judge Odegaard in the same. I genuinely judge Odegaard the same. I am not going to scapegoat the player, but I still have to judge their performances, right? It's what the coach asks you to do, Comdeen. Does that make sense? Simply, that is what is happening. I actually believe Odegaard played a step down or 2 steps down from last season, right? Until Dubai. And then after Dubai, he absolutely went levels higher to the point that I'm actually absolutely entertained by him every time he touches the ball. Yes, but you use that to put Foden over Odegaard. Because I believe that Odegaard is part of the Arsenal team that worked, including Kai Havertz. But Foden, literally, in my opinion, absolutely was the best Arsenal player, the best Man City player over this whole season. By the way, even when Foden played right side, he still didn't perform to the highest level, but he still scored goals. Isn't that something to... I actually think that Odegaard, I expected Odegaard to have a continuation from last season, but he didn't. Does anybody here believe that Odegaard, and I'm going to ask you, Kumdin, for the last time, do you believe that Odegaard had a continuation from last season to this season? Or did you think that he dropped a little bit until the Dubai or December or something, until he gained back? That's the point, Kumdin. I swear to God. But I wanna just say one thing. Wallahi, I want everyone in the chat, W's for my guy Kumdin, W's. for having this amazing support of the channel and discussion. Kumdin, I want to thank you so much for this. He has been ever better since Newcastle. I'm gonna go and check, but I remember before the Dubai, a lot of people actually were not on the Odegaard train. A lot of people didn't enjoy Odegaard and said that he wasn't having great games. He was playing all right. He was playing all right, Komdin. Like, I thought he was playing okay. You know what I mean? He wasn't playing up to the level. This is why, and I want to check this again. Let me check this again. Up to the Newcastle game, you say, right? Newcastle game. The Newcastle game, which was in November. Arsenal at home against Brentford. He had an okay game, Martin Odegaard, if I remember that correctly. He wasn't playing up to his level. I'm going through the games, but remember, I watched tons of games, and I can't remember every single game, but I remember what happened. He had a great game against Wolves, but I can go here and all check the stats and all the stuff. But if I remember correctly, up to the Aston Villa game, he didn't have a good game. I thought in the Luton game, he was all right. The Brighton game, everybody was good. The Liverpool game was so-so. And then the West Ham and Fulham. So basically, until the Dubai, that's what I want to say. Until the Dubai. It's simple as that. Big up everybody that joined us. Make sure to like the video before you go. It's essential. Big up to Komdin, Paulo, of course, John and Ghost. And of course, Tevin is here. Smash the likes, people. Smash the likes. I want to go on to Chelsea. Okay, here's the news. Here is what happened. I open up and I see Pochettino everywhere. This is Google, and I'm going to zoom in. Here we go. Pochettino. Oh, come on. Back. Pochettino is that reveals he could quit Chelsea and says maybe he's not happy. So my discussion here, I can actually, Paulo, I don't have a lot of time, but I can actually drop the link in the chat. I can't. I can actually drop the link in the chat, and then you can call in. How about that, Paulo? How about that? How about I can actually do this for you, Paulo? Just give me a second. Let me finish my points, right? You said coach happiness matter as well. Yes, he said that. He literally said that. He said, so Pochettino hinted as like, why do people not ask me for happy? My point about it is that I am not here to actually discuss if Poch is leaving or not, because I am not going to claim that I'm in the know, that I'm an ITK. Does that make sense? I am not an ITK, right? I'm not. I'm not an ITK to tell you if Poch is leaving or not. However, I want to discuss something else with Chelsea fans and with you people. Do we think he is leaving? And do we think he should leave? And do we think Chelsea should get another manager? At this point, I don't think so. I actually think Pochettino should be given next season. I actually think that next season they should be given I'm gonna put this on the screen, even though that train has moved on for me. That Madison train. Unless Madison comes out next season and prove that he can do it. Because after the injury, Madison has been dropping a stinker after a stinker. So that train has moved. That's for another day. But yes, I believe now that everyone that joins Spurs is kind of cursed or something like this. I actually think that they should not sack Pochettino. The reason why. The moment that I said sack Poch when they were 11th, I literally said that. That was my argument. Hear me out. I said, if you're 11th in the league, context is out of the way. If you call yourself a big team, then context is out of the way. But let's look at the league table at the current moment and see what is Chelsea about, right? Chelsea now are 7th. Chelsea are 2 points behind Newcastle. Newcastle play Manchester United. So basically, Chelsea can actually finish 6th this season at the end. Did he save the season at the end? Maybe. Maybe he did. My point is that moment when I said sack the coach has passed, right? And let me tell you something that I said about Inzaghi last season. Last season, Inter. This is what happened with Inzaghi. Short story. Inter parted way with Antonio Conte because he didn't agree with the board. Antonio Conte left. They got Inzaghi from Lazio. Finished season, we should have won the league. We bottled the league to AC Milan. We were top of the league. We bottled the league. Right? We bottled the league. Season after, we actually, from being second, we digressed. And I said at that time that Inter should sack Inzaghi and move on. And then he reached the Champions League final. And at that point, I changed my opinion. Why? Because he did something unexpected. Has Poch turned it around at Chelsea? Not fully. And hear me out. Not fully. Not fully. Not fully. But has he, if he win the last, who does Chelsea have in the last 3 games? Chelsea have in the last 3 games, they have Nottingham Forest away, they have Brighton, and they have Bournemouth. If they win 2 out of these 3, I think he earned himself another season, or at least a start of a season. Hear this. You can change your opinions when the circumstances change, when the givens are changed. Arteta, a lot of Arsenal fans, right? Were Arteta out when he used to switch between 3 in the back, 4 in the back. Tierney, left center back. Tierney, left wing back. Play this guy, play that guy here. And he didn't have a set way of playing, and he tried. But the board stuck with him. Did he turn it around? The majority, 99% of the Arsenal fans now, I can say, are behind Mikel Arteta. Because the guy earned a little bit of respect by making something happen. My point to be discussed is Mr. Pochettino isn't a bad coach. He had tons of mistakes. He started the season. You started the season, right? He started the season with a style of play. Away, dominating position, creating chances. Everything says that. Eye test shows that. But then after this, in the middle of the season, he abandoned the style of play. It's not only that you abandon the style of play, you abandon the style of play and the results weren't coming your way. And now you start playing some good football, you start playing well, we've seen some good signs and stuff like this. If he plays the last 3 games and he wins games, I believe he deserves another season. As Nawaf here is saying, I will give Poch one more season from 12 to 7. If he finishes 7th or 6th, I believe he deserves another season. He actually deserves another season. Genuinely, that's my opinion. He genuinely deserves another season. The reason why, I'm not saying buy a lot of players here and there, but see how the start of the season. The reason why the market stinks. The manager's market, even Hansi Flick is actually going to Bayern. Sacking him now isn't going to solve anything. If you sack him now, you might get a short-term solution that might not win, bro. That might not even win, bro. If you sack him now, what are you getting out of it? What are you getting? Are you going to get Mourinho? Do you think Mourinho is going to fix your team? Do you think Conte is going to fix your team? Conte might make men out of these kids, but Conte is never a long-term solution. Never a long-term solution. Bro, he was tried at Juventus, Inter, Chelsea, Spurs. He is not a long-term. Now, if you can get Nagelsmann, I don't like this guy, Nagelsmann. He dresses well. I'm not sure. Maybe. But I think you stick with Pochettino. You see what happens next season in the beginning, and then you move from here, to be honest with you. That's what I think you should do, to be honest. I genuinely think that's what you should do. Wait until Nkunku comes back. Maybe give him a right back that is that's a little bit consistent. You know what I mean? Thomas Tuchel, Adib, Habibi, stop this Thomas Tuchel. You and Ziad, stop this Thomas Tuchel shit. He's going to come in, maybe a short-term solution. He's going to leave the club in a mess. He's going to leave the club in a mess again. يا أخي اتقوا الله. What are we talking about? Thomas Tuchel comes in, maybe fixes it short term, and then goes when the team is in a mess. Nobody learned anything. Just get him a striker. Get him a good forward, ya akhi. Get him someone to put the ball in the back of the net. And also Thomas Tuchel, as Martin says, he's literally flirting with Man United. The problem is, and I'm going to tell you one thing about Chelsea. Why do I say Chelsea? You're already deep in. Your legs are deep in the mud with a long-term project. I'm going to say it again for Chelsea. Your legs are already deep into the mud of a long-term project. You bought so many prospects and so many players, bro, that will need development. If Chelsea were to sell these players and buy a ready-made players now, I would tell you, sack Pochettino and get a Thomas Tuchel. You bought so many prospects and so many future players. Thomas Tuchel comes now, it doesn't work. You might not be able to recover these kids. You need someone. I am convinced that Pochettino can turn it around at Chelsea. He really can. You could have had Hansi Flick. I don't know if you can get Nagelsmann. Another trial Nagelsmann because he won trophies at Bayern, bro. Nagelsmann, everyone wins trophies at Bayern. It's like saying that someone won trophies with Paris Saint-Germain. Bro, give me a break. Cut the crap. Wallahi, cut the crap. You think everyone that won trophies at Bayern is good? And Thomas Tuchel, and this is a very good segue a little bit to Manchester United. I had a discussion this morning. Even Felix Magath won, bro. Anybody wins trophies with Bayern Munich, bro, unless you have Harry Kane. Bro, the fact, I'm going to say something. The fact that this Thomas Tuchel guy didn't win trophies with Bayern this season by itself is a disgrace. It's a disgrace. Thomas Tuchel, my ass, bro. طب خلاص, Hansi Flick is going back to Bayern, Adib. What do you want? Why you, Chelsea, why you do this? Give me a break, Adib. Opinions differ, Adib. I believe if Thomas Tuchel goes to Chelsea, he won't fix anything and it won't be great, right? And it will end sour between the owners, him and the players. I believe so. I believe it will end sour between him and the fans, bro. I believe so. I swear I believe so. Poch will stay. Thomas Tuchel is better than Poch. Well, I can argue that. Maybe. I can argue that. But Thomas Tuchel is a brilliant cup manager. Pochettino can develop these kids to be all right. Thomas Tuchel is a good cup manager. Is a good cup manager. Is very good cup manager. Like someone, and this is why when he played Arsenal, right? When Bayern Munich played Arsenal, I said Thomas Tuchel has experience in this knockout stages. He made a mistake against Real Madrid. That's fine. But he's a very good cup manager. He reads games very well. What Chelsea need is not someone that is going to do it game by game. Fuck this, bro. Why I'm wearing this? I'm not hearing anyone. There is no one here. Thomas Tuchel is great. You might need better than Poch. You might need better than Poch. You might. Anyway, Adib, I'm taken away from the audience. You know what I'm talking about. I'm discussing it with you. Anyway, how long have we... Wow. It has been an hour. It has been an hour. It has been an hour between me and you. You guys want to call in? All right. But can I ask you guys something? For the people that want to call in, Papa Beard and Paulo, I need you guys to text me on Twitter so I can text you. I don't want to turn this into a call-in show. Papa Beard and Paulo, if you're still here, text me on Twitter so I can actually send you the link. But I'm not going to stay for long. I need to go for dinner with the wife, to be honest. It's 7. Text me on Twitter. I'm ready. I'm ready for you to text me, and I'm gonna send you the link. If someone wants to text me on Twitter, I'm just gonna be a little bit selective. A little bit selective. What is this? I have it open for everybody. I am in the States. I am in the United States. But before you actually call in, can we be not fraudulent and get to 150 likes? Here we go. Papa Beard. Accept. Invite. Copy. You need to have a... There we go. And we are moving to full on thing. Let's get 200 likes. I know that a lot of you haven't liked the damn video. Hit that like button. And Paulo as well. I'm not gonna stay long. I'm just gonna see who's gonna jump in. Pop a beer. Here we go. My guy. Let me just get the overlay and everything. We can turn this, oh, bro, into whatever you guys want. Here you go. Yo,
What's up?
yes,
Good morning.
you're muted. Or I am muted.
I'm not muted.
I am good. Okay.
Good
What do you want to
morning. Good
talk about?
morning.
Good morning.
Just two. Just two.
Where are you tuning in from first?
I'm from Bali, Indonesia.
From Indonesia, Bali.
Yes. Yes. I live in Bali.
Amazing. What time is it there?
It's currently 8 a.m. in the morning
Fantastic. On a Saturday.
on a Saturday.
Having a good weekend?
I am. I am. It's a good weekend. It's a good year.
Good year. What do you want to talk about quickly? Because I gotta go. You know, I've got dinner.
I know. I know. Just two stuff. Have you talked about where Palmer actually stands on the Player of the Season nominees? Have you decided yet?
No,
Like
I
I
haven't.
I,
I
I
actually
watched your
haven't.
I watched your stream with Nobbins and the two other guys. I forgot the name.
Rory
Tom
and
Liddell.
Tom.
Yeah. And then once you mentioned Palmer anywhere close to Foden, did you see his expression changed? Like it's not even a discussion for them. But did you actually decide
Do you
where
support Chelsea?
Palmer? I am, yeah.
If
And
I
this is
tell you that, okay, if I tell you Enzo is not good for Chelsea and should sell him, what would you say?
I agree.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Enzo
we have a Saint Chelsea fan in the house.
Enzo hasn't been good enough. I don't know if it's the hernia. I don't know if it's but he had a half season start at Chelsea. So people always forget that he didn't come on just this summer. He actually played a half a bit of last season.
I just
So what
wanted to
happened?
say, I just want you to tell people one thing, because people say, Mo, you don't like to get people to debate you. No, just it's very strange. Anyway, for Palmer, for Cole Palmer, I said it many times. Okay, Cole Palmer need to be tested in a more pressure playing way. What I mean by that, let me explain to you. Bukayo Saka, Phil Foden, the likes of the player that have been playing in the league longer, they get marked differently. They get faced differently. Plans, like Mohamed Salah, of course, plans are made to stop them. Erling Haaland. Cole Palmer has had it a little bit easier. Teams don't play anti-Chelsea football. And your coach didn't help with that. You remember when midway through the season, he completely abandoned the style of play. Do you remember? He completely
Yeah.
abandoned everything. And it was winging it every game. Whatever happened, game with a position, game sitting back, Palmer 10, Palmer right. I want to see Palmer next season play under pressure. When I mean under pressure, being marked closely, being the focal point for the opposition, not for Chelsea. He has been, right? He has been like, I don't see Saka facing defenders on halfway line with 20 yards around him often, or Mohamed Salah, you know what I mean? But Cole Palmer, I see that. Why? He's still young in the league. He's still people are still adjusting to him. However, his performances this season have been amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. The chances created, the composure he shows in the majority of the games. It's absolutely something to take note. Is he player of the season? Not for me. Is he nominated? Yes. And he
To be
was
fair,
nominated, right?
player of the season for me this year would be Rodri. Hands up. It would
Not
be
for me. It's
Rodri
Declan Rice, no matter who wins the league.
from yeah. I mean, it's between Rodri and Rice, but
Between Rodri, I actually think Rodri is third. I think Foden has been amazing this season.
there's too much talk of how will Palmer be under pressure next season. But the thing is, the player that thing we fought for, it's about this season. We're not talking about last
And
season how they have
he
been
has been
performed.
good. This is why he has been top five to me for me.
Yeah, we're not talking about, but not according to those guys. They were like, he's not even top 10. Nobin gave it like at least top 10 at the 10th place.
Nobody's being
Come
called
on,
out.
come on. Like it's okay to be biased, but not this way. You want Foden to be the player of the season, where you can argue that he's not even, Foden is not even better than Rice and Rodri, or even the Salibas and Gabriel talk. Like, come on.
Yeah, guys. We got Paulo's joining. This is very interesting. Paulo's joining. Um, if he connects he didn't connect his thing. Once he connected, I'll join. We'll stay 5 minutes and then I'll go.
Oh,
Um,
also on the second talk, right?
yes,
About
go ahead.
Poch.
Go ahead.
About Poch. Do you remember how Ranieri used to be at Chelsea?
That's 2003,
Three.
2002,
Yes. Do you
2002,
remember?
2003.
If you
No, I
remember,
don't. I don't.
so the previous season, it was also climbing
How
like this.
long have you been a Chelsea supporter?
Uh, Started 2002, 2003. My
All
dad
right.
is an Inter Milan fan too. You know?
Oh, all right. Good. Good for him. Your dad is better
So,
than you. I know that for a fact.
now Italian league died around that year in Indonesia. You know, so everybody moved on to Premier League.
Italian league actually died in 2011, 12.
Yeah, but the streaming rights and everything here in Indonesia
Oh,
somehow
yeah, yeah.
made it like Premier League is the
So
top.
about Poch, what do you want to say about Poch? Because I don't think
So
Paulo's joining.
it's more like I think personally I want him to stay just to rebuild. If he doesn't do too much damage on the club, as if in finishing 12, finishing 13, it's okay to give him another year. He might not be the coach that we're gonna win the league with or win Champions League with, but if it's like Ranieri who built the team, made a structure, and get a winner coach in to win stuff, I don't think it's such a bad thing. There's not much difference for a stable team for one more year, and then get another winner coach for the season
Maybe.
after.
I say, yeah, yeah. Just give him another year, and then we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Yes, hundred
Like
percent.
they keep complaining about not being able to play in Europe. There's news that we are not complying with FFP. Like, why would you want to waste another 20-25 million to fire him and then just like get another coach? It doesn't make
Yeah,
sense.
that too. You're gonna play in Europe. I think if you get Europa League or Conference League, it's good for these players. I actually
Yeah.
think genuinely it's good for these players. But listen, I don't think Paulo is joining, so I'm just gonna
All
call it
good.
a
All
day
good.
and go for dinner. Appreciate
Yeah.
you. Let's get you more maybe on Chelsea if you want to join after
Hopefully.
the game. Text me tomorrow. I have a show
Yeah.
in the evening.
Okay.
It will be too late for you, isn't it? No, it would be too early for you. It'll be like 6 in the morning or something. I don't think Paulo is
Yeah.
gonna be able to join.
We'll try. We'll try. We'll see.
Yes, we'll see. Anyway, appreciate you, and I appreciate
Good
everybody
talking to
that
you.
watched. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
you. I want to thank everybody that watched me, and I want to thank Comdean. We didn't speak about Ten Hag. We didn't speak anything about Ten Hag, but there's no time. Next time. Comdean, I want to thank Tevin. I want to thank John and Ghost. I want to thank Paolo, of course. I want to thank Nawaf, the people that actually super chatted and supported the channel. I want to thank everybody that liked the video. We can get to 200 likes right now. Appreciate you guys. All love. We disagree on opinions, but we're all love here and a family, of course. A family. And I love guys. I love this community. I love you guys. And I appreciate everyone that supports my channel. And hopefully we'll see you guys soon. And I am out of here, people.